and I was like, I want to hear about Lost.
Yeah. Sorry,
even though
dude.
I liked Battlestar Galactica.
That ship has sailed. I realize our podcast.
You could do it, but people do, like, they have a Twin Peaks podcast. They have a MASH. They go back and watch old shows.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, and before we get started, I wanted to let you know we're having more people do writing for our site, which is great.
Yeah, it is.
So for a while, we've had Raylan's recapitations, and that's more or less a straight recap, but it's in Raylan's kind of fun style, and she gives opinions here and there. And now we've got Mr. Blog, who has allowed us to post his reviews, extensive reviews.
Awesome.
Very insightful. I'm really happy that he's doing that for us. And so,
Thanks, Mr.
but I
Blog.
want to know what you guys think. So check him out and let us know. Raylan's recapitations and Mr. Blog's reviews. Plus, he did a big post on his experience at Walker Stalker Con that he let us post too.
With
so
pictures.
Cool.
I read it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was great.
It's cool. If you want to get an idea what we're going to talk about Walker Stalker Con later on in this episode too, to let you know what our experience was like. But I'm just, I just wanted to let you know I'm really happy that we're having more people write for us. And if you want to write for us, send me a sample of something. I think it would be fun to have some kind of funny pieces on there. So if you're a good humor writer, send us something.
Keep it short, people.
Get some exposure. Well, I'll just read the first 3 lines.
You could do like haiku review. A haiku review.
Reviewing haikus.
A haiku review from you. Please. That has got to happen. That's got to be some sort of weekly feature. Somebody write in a haiku review for you.
I'm not sure what that would be. What would it be? Like what? Was somebody reviewing haikus?
No, it would be their review in haiku.
Oh, a review of the show in haiku format.
It would be
that would
short
be awesome
and concise.
Well, it could be a few haiku. It didn't have to just be one.
A few haiku review from you.
All right,
fine. We're stopping
this.
Attention, shoppers. Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
So, what'd you think?
I loved it. Thought it was very Herschel-rific and moving the story forward. Chock-a-block full of zombie goodness and big surprise ending. Everything that I wanted. So I gave it a 4.76 out of 5 brains.
I agree with you. I think this may be, it's in my top 3 for sure of this whole series.
Yeah. It's great.
I think I really love the pilot. I think the pilot might be my favorite, but I think this might be my second favorite episode so far.
Really?
Yeah. I gave it 4.9. I almost gave it 5, but it's not perfect. It's damn close.
You loved it.
I totally loved it.
Let's hear the reasons why.
I think one thing I'm really happy about is the show is catapulting into popularity, right, into the mainstream. And I was afraid that when that happened, it might suffer because the writing might get watered down and they would try to cater to everyone or whatever. I'm still, that's still in the back of my mind, but the show feels like it's just taking that on with confidence to me. The music is even bolder. I think the actors are doing phenomenally well.
Yep.
The writing is top notch. The filmmaking is very artful. So I think they're really just grabbing the bull by the horns.
Yeah, they're in a good groove right now. So far, this season is my favorite.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so can I go first?
Yeah, do it.
All right, my number 5 is the shit really hit the fan inside the prison today.
Yeah.
And last night or whatever. And I was thinking, I loved watching it, but I was like, how could that have been avoided? What went wrong?
Right.
And so I was just trying to think. The guy who was being intubated, Glenn was left to watch after him, but he was in just really a bad state. And right as the guy who was being intubated died, Glenn's sickness got out of control. He started coughing up blood and he couldn't really do much about it.
Yeah.
So that happened. And then just at that time, Herschel was talking to the guy who had his friend laying in the bed next to him, and Herschel's like, should I check on him? And the guy's like, no, don't. It's okay. It's fine. Don't bother.
Yeah.
He's fine. Just let him sleep. I mean, he said it almost like that. Like, I think I should check on him. And so Herschel doesn't check on him. But really, I think the big thing that went wrong is the doctor, he kept saying, I have this shotgun. You should probably kill the people who are close, just like Carol did, kill the people who are close to death. Herschel wouldn't have any of it. But then the doctor said, make sure they stay in their cells. But he forgot to say, and lock those cells. You shouldn't really have to add that part. Because the zombie woman who I don't even remember, I couldn't see, I went back to look. She
waltzed right out.
Yeah, was she in the show earlier? But she waltzed right out after Herschel, and it's like, what good does it do to keep them in their cells if you don't lock the doors?
Right.
So I mean, in shows like this, you have to have stuff go wrong, or because if they'd done everything right, then there'd be no drama. But I'm like, you should have probably locked the cells.
So it's not enough to shut the cell. You actually have to lock it.
Well, I mean, people, whenever one person was really coughing up a lung, a lot of the people from the cells, like, they just opened their doors and peeked out.
Yeah.
So they weren't locked. And then the last thing is that Lizzie still thinks she can tame the Zeds. So she had that one Zed following her, and she tripped. And all that stuff was going on all at the same time. And it was like, oh.
And the fence. The fence was falling down.
That's the other thing. Yeah. You're totally right.
And how could that have been avoided? They actually addressed that a little bit on The Talking Dead, the show right after. They had Adam from Mythbusters.
Okay.
He was great. And he was saying, he's like, okay, triangulation people. They probably have a metal shop somewhere in the prison, and they could have shorted up with some welded metal and done some cool things to make sure that fence wasn't coming down. Or just get a backhoe and dig a big old trench, because as we know, zombies don't climb well.
Right. Or, I mean, apparently there's tons of gas, so they could just get all the cars they could find and park them up next to the fence. That might help a little.
Yeah.
But whatever they did during all this time that Rick had to be a farmer and relax, that might have been the time to do it. Don't wait until the zombies are piling through the fence. Maybe we should shore it up.
Yeah. And how about if we just lean these logs against it? It did not work long. Yeah.
Right.
So there were some things that went down all at one time. And by the way, all that happened at one time, basically.
Right.
So a lot of stuff went down. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, my number 5 is 2 little things at the beginning of the episode that sort of illustrates why I love the show. So 2 small things, really small things actually. At the very beginning, when Rick's driving down the highway, we see dogs eating a zombie. Now, we see zombies eat people all the time, but we don't see anything eat zombies. So it was kind of great, and we don't see animals much. So it was really fun to see.
I don't know if we've ever seen a dog on this show before.
I don't think we have.
Yeah, I like that too.
Or a cat, for that matter.
Only fake cats. Michonne's statue.
Yeah, exactly.
We know cats exist in the Walking Dead universe. Because we've seen that. Well, either that or somebody just made that up. Thinking, wouldn't this be a cool animal? But I was happy to see dogs. It was very brief, so I wasn't clear for sure if the dog was like licking the zombie or actually chowing down on it. But it looked like he was eating it.
And it looked like the zombie was in pain, and it looked like little zombie payback.
Oh.
And the other thing I really liked was this shot of Maggie at the fence at the very beginning. She's killing all those Zeds, and then there's the big crane pullback, and then you see the ocean of zombies that are truly at the fence.
Awesome shot.
Both David and I went, whoa.
Jenny was like, are there really that many people in the world? I guess so.
Yeah, has she been to Atlanta?
That zombie that the dog was licking or whatever, or eating, it was very sad looking. It made me... I just now thought of this, but it reminded me back when Rick first saw Bicycle Girl.
Yeah.
I felt a little sorry for the poor guy.
He back then he went back and
now he's just like,
like whatever. Bon appetit, dogs.
Okay, my number 4 is I pretty much have come fully around, and now I'm glad that they stayed at the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're using it in some really cool ways that they didn't get around to last season. And like, for example, even though we're critical that they didn't shore up the fence, I love seeing all those zombies bowed up against the fence.
Yeah.
And when they broke through, oh man, that was like zombie orgasm. Also, they're doing more. They have more areas, so they're doing more with people, zombies lurking around in the dark areas of the prison, which I think is really moody and cool.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they're showing, like, they have this administrative area that Rick goes in and calls Carl, and he comes out. That totally reminds me of the Resident Evil games, because there's lots of areas like that with papers strewn about.
Yeah.
And then I tried to imagine how would those papers get strewn about? Like somebody's walking along with a bunch of files, and it's like zombies, and goes throws them up.
Throws them up. And it's like a rain shower of paper.
What else? I guess I just am happy, and just the whole fact of the siege, which I'm going to talk about more, but the zombies have a siege on the prison. I'm just happy with the way that they're using the prison, and to see how it evolves when they settle in there and they have they're farming stuff like in the comic and stuff like that.
Let me ask you, do you think they're going to stay there much longer though?
Oh no, and I think they'll probably stay there for the rest of the season.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what they do on the show. They just stayed in the farm all of season 2. I don't know. We'll see. But I think that they will leave by the end of the season, if not before.
Yeah.
I don't think next season's going to be at the prison, and I don't want it to.
No, I agree. I agree. But that whole studio is going to have to tear down the prison set and redo it. That should be interesting.
I heard a rumor, and it's a total unsubstantiated rumor that they'll be filming in Savannah next year.
Yeah, I heard that
which
too.
Which could be cool, and maybe that means it would obviously mean a whole different setting. So I hope they do that, but I don't know yet.
Savannah's...
Walker Stucker's planning their con for Atlanta, so they're probably hoping it's in Atlanta.
Stays Atlanta.
Yeah,
Savannah's beautiful. I'd like to go there.
I've never been there.
It looks gorgeous in pictures. Okay, my number 4 is Rick telling the truth to Maggie and to Herschel about Carol. Well done, writers.
Yes, I agree.
Lots of things he could have said, but he chose that they had him choose the truth, which is the most logical and the best and the most gratifying for the viewers. So, he tells Maggie, and she confirms. Carol said that she killed Karen and David, and he says, yep. And she said, yeah, you did the right thing. I don't know if I could have done it, but I'm glad you did it. So, yes, good call, writers.
Yeah, I agree too. I was kind of thinking that he would not tell the truth. And I think somewhere in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, what a drag. They're going to draw that out.
Yeah. But
no, he told the truth, and it felt really good to hear.
I'm not sure how Daryl's going to take it, but
he won't mind. He won't care. I don't think.
Easy come, easy go, huh?
Yeah.
He's not loyal.
Okay, and he doesn't care about togetherness or anything.
No.
Or family.
He likes it when people leave.
Yeah, and abandon him. He loves that. Okay, my number 3 is the music, which is, I believe he's kicked it up a notch. I don't know for sure, but I love the music in this. I love the pulsing themes that he's got going on.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple samples here. So this is just an example of this pulsing music, which I think sort of represents tension and danger and intensity. It even feels like a focus, like crap is happening. We got to take care of it. Dun, 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 like that. And it's just cool sounding too. So here's like a 20-second sample. This part right here. Driving. Dark,
Zombie.
There was a lot of that. It's Herschel's shotgun. And then there's some like soaring themes too. This is when Rick and Carl they have no choice but to turn and start gunning down all the zombies. And so it gets a little more dramatic. Where's that? Back to the
beat.
yeah.
It's like a heartbeat almost too.
And but at a quicker pace.
Yeah. The heartbeat's
That's
beating
true.
faster, and it's great.
And then this last one, I just thought this is the kind of music you hear when things are just bad and wrong. It's like,
Yeah, it kind of has a little crescendo in there. Oh God, that's cool.
all like dissonant.
This guy, Bear McCreary, he just is terrific. I was, I've been watching, making our way through Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
and
it's amazing.
I wouldn't like Battlestar Galactica nearly as much as I do without Bear McCreary's
That's
music.
when you can tell that you got some good music. Like
Right.
I feel like that with Lost. Michael Giacchino's score,
Yes.
essential.
Yeah. Oh my God.
More than any other show that I've ever seen.
More than
probably.
any other show, and
but
I would-
Battlestar Galactica is
Yeah.
up there, and Bear McCreary does Shield too.
Oh,
He's all over the place.
Yeah, and I like the music for Shield.
Yeah,
I don't, I have to say that I love it for The Walking Dead, and I really love it for Battlestar Galactica.
yeah. But I think with Walking Dead, I think he kind of avoided doing some of the things that made him popular on Battlestar Galactica. But now he's saying, no, I should just do that because these pulsing driving and then big drums,
Yeah.
he's doing more of that in Walking Dead now, and
Yeah.
that's what's good about his music in Battlestar Galactica. So
It'd be fun to see him work, actually. And it might be, he'd be a cool interview.
with the
Just
orchestra,
saying.
yeah, totally. I have always had him in the back of my mind, but I have never reached out. So maybe we should reach out to him.
Yes, dear Bear McCreary, we love you. Okay, my number 3 is The Sickness. And I'm really glad that they brought a whole new threat to, and I think I've said it even before, that I just love that there's a whole new threat to what's going on. And it's believable. It makes sense that there's more than one thing. Now, the zombies are the big threat. They want to eat you. But last season, the humans were the big threat. The governor was the big bad. And all the people basically over at in Woodbury. But the sickness feels like it's completely out of control. There's really not a whole lot they can do. They can go and try to find meds. They can find antivirals and whatever. But it's a really yucky human sickness. In fact, I think David and I were saying it's way yuckier. Like the stuff that was happening last night, it grossed me out way
Yeah.
more than zombies ever do. Zombies don't really gross me out. I think they're mainly funny, but human sickness is it's hard.
Well,
It's
the
hard to
good thing
watch some of it.
too about the sickness is it's a separate threat, but it compounds the zombie threat.
Right.
Because
exactly.
it causes there to be zombies inside.
Yes.
Which is great. That's one thing I love about zombie movies that I love is when everybody thinks they're safe and then for one reason or another somebody inside turns. Now we've got that happening every episode.
Right.
Awesome.
Oh, God. And last night I laughed when Rick gives Carl the fruit leather and says, make sure everyone brushes their teeth. And I was like, that's kind of dumb. Why'd they put that? And then, I sort of rolled my eyes. But then I was like, wait a second. There probably aren't that many dentists now. And if they get cavities, if their teeth start falling out, if they start getting, needing root canals, that could
They're
be
in trouble.
That could be major. Yeah, that's huge. So I get it now. And
They'll have to start plucking out the zombie teeth and using them as false teeth.
because that wouldn't be gross or disgusting.
Or wrong.
So-
you got to do what you got to do.
So right.
Yeah, I love it. And it makes me this whole, like I just said, the thing I like about it a lot is it causes zombies to come from the inside. And I've wanted that from the beginning, and I've also wanted more nighttime scenes, which they're doing now, and also like they did a whole siege thing this time. I wanted that, but now that I got like everything I wanted in the episode last night, I'm like, I'm kind of glad that we didn't get all that stuff right away, because it's a long form TV show and it's good to dole it out and pace it, you know?
Yes, exactly.
But my number 2 was the sickness too, and I agree that it's very disconcerting. Would you say?
Yeah.
To see somebody cough harder than you've ever seen and then die.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you see like the very first guy that they see laying on the stretcher, this big black guy, and he's got blood all over his face and he's dead. And I'm just like, that guy, you don't want to see him become a zombie.
No.
You're going to be in trouble.
You're going to be in trouble. and then when Lizzie leads him like a little puppy down the corridor, she may not make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean. You don't want to see him being led by Lizzie. You want somebody thin that you can push over the railing.
And then you see those guys, and then you see poor Sasha and Glenn looking like crap, especially Sasha. She looked really bad.
She's just dehydrated.
They're going to be next.
Were you ever worried?
Yeah. I mean, not really for Glenn, but Sasha, yes.
Yeah, I was worried for Sasha for sure, but not Glenn.
Yeah.
I'm like, they can't get rid of Glenn.
We should be, but I mean,
should we?
No, we shouldn't, but I think they want us to be. That's what I mean to say. But we shouldn't. Something else. Oh yeah. So this made me think. One time I had food poisoning really bad. I may have told this story already before on the podcast, but really bad. And it was just coming out both ends, and I was so miserable. And I think this was the first time I got it really bad. I was in my 20s, and I was like, oh. And then I looked in the mirror and I saw my face was really pale and I looked like a zombie, and I was like, that is awesome. I was like, that is the one silver lining of this whole thing.
So
I should have taken a picture.
Yeah, you should have. You know, it's funny though. I have the same thought though. I was in a bike accident when I was in college, and I had a concussion. I was in the hospital. I have no idea how I even got to the hospital. I was out just completely, and my whole right side of my face was disgusting. It was just puffed up, and I had stitches. It was just disgusting. I looked like a monster, and I wish I had a photo. I really do. Like, why can't I just have captured that?
I promise, if I'm ever with you when something like that happens, I'll whip out my
picture. Thank you.
It's for you later.
You want to capture those memories.
So, did those meds work? I think they did. You know, they kind of didn't show that, but in the next morning, there was somebody said Glenn is able to breathe on his own now, which I think means the meds started working.
Well, I think you saw Bob Stuckey administer a little syringe of something, so maybe that was the antiviral. Yeah. Although, you know, most antivirals you have to give within a really short time frame of getting any virus. They don't work if you give them 2 days later.
Oh no, I mean, I think that the meds worked, and that this was sort of like the end of an arc. Yeah. And the meds worked, even though it may not be medically feasible. I think that's what. Maybe
they'll all be dead by the time we tune in next week.
One reason why is because they just seemed pretty calm the next morning.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hopefully they repaired that fence too. My number 2 was...
I know. They didn't show that either.
My number 2 was, this was Herschel's episode, and I think that Scott Wilson was incredible. Who, by the way, Scott Wilson, we saw him at Walker Stalker Con, and told him how much I love Junebug. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and he was really sweet. He gave me a hug. I think he liked me talking about something other than The Walking Dead.
That's cool.
Listeners, if
you should have said doodlebug. Go away home. Ba 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 ba.
It was amazing to see Herschel in action. He wasn't giving up. He was a man of faith, and he gave care and hope to everybody who needed it. He's kind of like the opposite of Carol. Carol, who gave up too quickly on Karen and David, he wouldn't possibly dream of giving up on anybody. Even if you look like you're about to die, he's right there taking care of you, holding the IV bag, squeezing the respirator, making spaghetti jokes.
In Carol's, how do you say
Defense.
it? Defense. They all could have just been wiped out by that sickness.
Sure,
Could have been
absolutely,
wrong. But
absolutely.
yes, I mean, he was great.
But she did give up on Karen and David, and she took a risk, and it turns out she was wrong. It ended up being
Yes, exactly.
out of control anyway. Blah blah blah. Because that's how these things work. You infect people. You don't even know that you're contagious.
Right.
You know.
Plus, she should have killed herself too, because she was standing right next to them when she killed them, and probably was infected.
Yeah. Well.
If she really wanted to do a thorough job. Sorry, Carol. I love Carol, but
he
saying.
Took a lot of risks, and he gets called a hero because he doesn't give up on them.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering how to live your life, people, take a lesson from Herschel, but try not to make any inappropriate spaghetti jokes.
Yeah, and you may die, but try it anyway. It's a risk.
It's a risk. It's one we're taking.
Yes, you'll feel better about yourself if you live. I can go with that for sure.
Okay.
And I would hopefully do the same thing that he did, not
Yes.
what Carol did. Although I think Carol may be smarter. I have a few things about him too. I thought his fake leg is working a little too well. Like he was bent over on two knees a couple of times and able to stand up. I'm like, how do they do that? And I mean, it's possible, I guess, that they could have gone to some medical facility and found, because prosthetics are really good now.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's what they're trying. I don't know. Have they ever shown what it's made out of? I don't think so.
I don't think. Is it
It's not like a wood peg leg or something.
It's not an Oscar Pistorius blade.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
They might as well just chop off his other leg and give him, because that guy gets around.
Because that guy can run.
That guy does. People might not know, but he runs marathons with people that have legs, and he's missing both legs. Right? Not marathons, but quick races.
He doesn't do it anymore. He's in jail for shooting his girlfriend.
Are you kidding?
No, I am not.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay, forget it, Herschel.
Actually, I don't think he's in jail. I think he's out awaiting trial.
Wow. I was so impressed with that guy.
He is very impressive, but
in some ways. Also, it was interesting that he told Rick he still thinks there's a plan, meaning God's plan. It reminded me of when they used to have those theological talks back in season 2. And that's fine. I mean, whatever it takes to keep you going. And in a scene with Rick and Herschel, Rick acknowledged that once the sickness is over, he can't basically go back to not being a leader. I thought that was interesting. And Herschel's like, well, you were lucky you had a little downtime, but it's over now.
yeah, I hope you enjoyed that downtime because that's all you're getting.
And then Herschel, he cried at the end. What'd you think of that?
This is so sweet.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I would have cried.
Yeah.
That was him.
And that was his doctor friend.
And did it by himself so no one could see.
Yeah, had his Bible out there. He was going to read a verse. He's just a sweetheart. Yeah, good guy. And maybe it's also relief. Like, you know, he probably, in the back of his mind, he was worried that they were all going to die.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of it.
I mean, yeah, it felt like he had to hold it together, but now that the meds are here, he can take a moment to himself. And
Crying is good and cathartic, people.
you should do it all the time.
I do.
Okay, so my number one is just the siege. When the
Oh.
zombies break through. Because I saw Rick and Carl trying to shore up that fence, and one of the posts broke.
Yep.
And then they all started to come through, and Rick goes, "Run!" And I'm like, "This is awesome." I was like, "This is just like something out of Night of the Living Dead." It felt like Night of the Living
Wasn't
Dead.
it great?
Yeah, and they start, busting through and coming to the door, and it made me realize in that moment, like, wow, this is just like Night of the Living Dead, except we've gotten to know the characters so much better than you can in a short movie.
Right.
That it's way more powerful because we
Right.
care more, you know?
Yep.
So that's how this show has suddenly become. I think that's why this is my favorite episode, just because of that scene right there.
pretty
It's
great.
suddenly become better than zombie movies for me, I think.
And you know, one of the things I loved about it was I loved that he and Carl went to go get weapons, and he gives Carl, as they're like basically running back, he gives Carl a lesson on how to
and he
load
says
an
a bunch of
automatic
shit
weapon.
that I would be like, I don't know what that means, but we know that Carl's with it enough. and has had practice, he could probably get it.
Make sure it locks in. You know, there's a little clip right here, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Wait, what?
What? What's going on again?"
And at one point, Carl tosses him another magazine for his weapon. And
I was like out of an action movie.
Carl.
But now that the fences are down, this is sort of, I felt like a bit of a flaw. Rick said something about putting the bus up against it.
Right.
But then I looked and I didn't see whether that actually happened. And then the next day they were all calm on the farm. And I'm like, aren't your fences down? They busted through 2 fences. Like, shouldn't they have at least shown what might be done about that? Because they're really vulnerable now. I mean, maybe they killed all the zombies that were around for now, but more are going to come. So hopefully next time we see the prison, which I don't think is going to be next week, they're going to show something different about how it's shored up.
Right. And they could have used the semi-automatic weapons or the automatic weapons through the fence too. I mean, they should have done that maybe in the first place.
I know. That's true.
David
shoulda,
pointed that
coulda,
out.
woulda should be the name of the show.
Right.
Walking Dead, shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's the spin-off.
My number 1 is, holy crap, the governor is back.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun,
dun,
dun. If he wants to attack, it would probably be a pretty good time because now everybody is all weak from being sick. Yeah, exactly. They've been running on empty. They have fewer people. Not a bad time to attack, is all I'm saying. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the governor getting back in the mix. I didn't know he was coming back. I mean, I knew they wouldn't just leave his storyline dangling out there, but I didn't know when we'd get him back.
No,
but
I knew he was coming back, but I didn't know when. And I was glad to see him back too. I kind of thought, I kind of wish maybe it was a little later, but that's just nitpicky. Like I'm excited to see what's going to happen with him.
nothing good.
And if you stay for our next week section later on, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about next week's episode, but not much. So I don't want to say it right now because it's just a little bit spoilery.
So can I say that one little note thing that I had?
Of course.
Okay. I think Lizzie, that girl Lizzie, creepy girl Lizzie who puts her toe in the goo.
In a creepy way.
I think she really I think she needs a pet.
Like a non-zombie pet?
A non-zombie
one of those
pet.
dogs, maybe?
Yes, exactly.
She'll be like, don't eat the zombies, dog.
Bad dog. Stop eating.
Don't eat Nick. I thought it was hilarious. She's like, come on, boy.
Come here. Boy. What was she planning? She was just backing up.
That's what I was wondering. So I went back to listen, and she said a few things, one of which was totally, I couldn't hear it, but something about nice. Like, he was nice. Then she said, he didn't scratch Glenn. I thought maybe he listened. Like, I thought maybe I could control him, I guess, is what, he's a nice one. So she's still thinking that.
Lizzie.
But I'm not so sure about her being a psycho anymore. I don't know.
Toe in the goo.
She's weird for sure. I mean, I know she definitely is confused about the zombies and thinks that they can be okay. Mm-hmm. We know that, but I thought, it might go beyond that. But what we've seen in the last couple episodes, she just seems like a nice girl otherwise, she wouldn't go kill Karen and David like I at points have thought maybe she did.
Right.
But I still don't know for sure. In fact, I was pretty adamant that Carol killed those two when last time we podcasted together. And then people have been making other arguments. And now after last week's episode, it seems more obvious that Carol did it. But even now there's still a little doubt in my mind. Like maybe she's covering for them.
She was playing with the yucky goo.
Yeah.
Ugh. So instead of reading Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn or whatever book it was. Tom Sawyer? Remember?
Yeah,
like,
I think it was
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
He'd be the best grandpa. I swear to God.
You don't want to see me knife this guy in the head, honey. What else? As far as Carol goes, I don't have any information, but I would bet anything that she's going to be back at some point.
Oh yeah,
right? Not gone forever.
No,
she'll be back.
She'll be back at a key moment.
The other guy that got last week, the two hippies. One got killed, the other disappeared.
Yeah.
I kind of hope he never comes back, because it's nice sometimes just when people don't come back, because sometimes you just don't see people again, and we don't really care about him that much. So
I sort of would like an explanation of what the heck was up with the hippie chick Anna being one place and her leg being in another.
I think the only reason why that happened is the same reason why we saw Karen's rock, paper, scissors bracelet. And
An ID.
Yeah, an ID. And they're like, we'll do the tattoo on her leg. But then, I don't know, maybe they thought they could have just done a close-up of her leg while the zombie was eating it. But it would be more dramatic to show the leg over here, you know? Sometimes they do stuff that's dramatic and it doesn't quite add up, but it looks cool.
It was.
We'll see.
It was a long ways away. Like, it wasn't just a little way. And anyway, they usually don't rip a limb off and then drag the body.
That's what I'm saying.
Strange.
That usually, sometimes they do stuff just because it's cool. We'll see, but I don't think so. And by the way, I was thinking about those two, and I think I understand more what was I didn't podcast about this, but at the point I heard you guys, I didn't have as full understanding as I do now. I think they were the writers wanted to paint the hippies as weak. You know, like they've been protected up until now. They weren't sure how to kill even that one zombie, so they just hid in the bathroom. And so that's why Rick was looking at how Carol would deal with these two weak people in order to better judge whether he really wanted to abandon her. And she basically sent them out into danger, and he didn't want to, you know, and she's like, if they're strong enough, they'll survive. And if not, good riddance. Basically, that was, and he's like,
that's
okay,
a good point.
You're out of here. You don't care about people for their own sake.
Right.
I think that's what was going on. What else? When Carl said, "Dad, you can't keep me from it," and he said, "From what?" And Carl said, "From what always happens." What did he mean? Just things get messed up?
Yeah, I guess so.
And death and destruction?
It always gets all chaosy around here. So you can't keep that from me. You can try.
Yeah. I noticed that Rick loves to go over to that barrel and splash himself with water.
Yeah, it's so gross.
And he does it really violently. Here's a sound. Here's what it sounds like. He goes, like, dude, chill.
You think they'd also have like a little cup attached to the side of the barrel where you could take it and scoop the water out and pour it on you instead of throwing your zombie gory hands into the water.
Goopy junk all in there.
Yuck.
Where do you think Michonne and Herschel are going? Because I don't know if that was clear.
Oh, they're dumping the truckload of zombies out right by the governor. So nothing could go wrong there.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Zombie kill of the week?
Yeah, I had a zombie kill of the week. My zombie kill of the week was actually when Herschel was on the metal mesh trying to get the respirator off the respirator zombie, and Maggie was down below underneath the mesh, and she fired, and he's like, "Wait, no, don't hurt the respirator, or
it might kill Glenn."
And
he said, "You need it for Glenn." I think the point was she had to sort of decide, is it worth it to try and save my dad and possibly risk Glenn? And she had a clear shot.
Yeah, she had a good shot, and she's a badass too. So that was my zombie kill of the week. The respirator zombie.
There were a lot of kills.
There were.
Zombie kill, probably more than any other episode. But at the very end, this like half-skulled zombie is like laying there going, Rick comes up with a crowbar and goes, I like that one for some reason.
Crunchy.
So
yeah, that was a good one.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Deadcast news update.
All right, it's time for the news. Walking Dead's still going great in the ratings. One interesting statistic is it's 23% bigger among the adult 18 to 49 than NBC's Sunday Night Football, which is broadcast top-rated weekly telecast.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's amazing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an important demo.
This season, they've averaged about 19.9 million viewers per episode when you include 7 days of DVR playback.
Let's just round up to 20.
Pretty huge.
That's huge.
Yep. I read an article that said, by the way, Walking Dead still doesn't have as many viewers as Jonathan Silverman's short-lived comedy The Single Guy back in 1995. But that's because back then there were way less channels, so more people watch. But he's just a little perspective there.
That's hilarious. Did you ever see that?
It sucked. Yeah, I watched a couple episodes. I thought it sucked. Sorry, Jonathan, if you're listening.
He's like, oh.
He's like, I'm not listening to you guys anymore. This is from an interview with Stephen Yun on AMCTV.com. They asked, what do you do to get yourself in shape for the show every season? He says, Norman and Andy and I have a lot of discussion about this. We do have to be strong enough to pull off what we're asked as actors to do, but then also we want to make it realistic in that we don't want these guys to be jacked or anything like that. I guess that means like buffed.
Yeah.
I just try to stay relatively healthy. But when it comes to gearing up for the new season, we've had discussions about taking a 1-week camping trip to get disheveled and disgusting. It's interesting because once we start shooting, we actually start getting skinnier and more malnutritioned and gaunt as we go. The first and second season, John Bernthal got me into boxing, and that's been good to just get strong without making you look like you're roiding out.
That's hilarious.
He says, do you like to box with, or do you box with any of the other cast members? Just John, actually. He could kill me with one hit.
Yikes.
They say, do any other aspects of The Walking Dead become a part of your life? He said, this show is really intense in that we're living out these characters' lives. So you just kind of live out the really terrible situations that hit really close to home. So last year with what Glenn was going through, it was hard to not fall into this pit of despair and depression and keep my composure. I think that's your job, to kind of separate the two so you don't go insane. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it really does. Well, you remember when we were talking to him at Walker Stalker Con, and he said that when he was filming this whole sickness segment,
he got
sick. And actually, a lot of people, they had like 120 cast and crew got sick.
Yeah.
And
he was,
he was really sick, and he was still sick at Walker Stalker Con. Yeah.
He was sick at Walker Stalker Con, and he made a joke that he had just shaken my hand backstage.
Yeah.
Or shook, or however. And then I got sick after that. I was like, I got Stephen Young's sickness. That's so cool.
You're so lucky. Yeah, cough over here, Dave.
We'll spread it all around. And everybody wanted a hug from him, too.
They sure did.
He spread it all around.
Drink your elderberry tea.
Speaking of that, Stephen Young had a backpack on. We did a Q&A session with him.
Yeah, we did.
And he kept his backpack on the whole time.
Yes.
And then...
he wouldn't take it off.
He take it off.
He had it on the couch. He was hugging on people.
We didn't ask him about it. But then, now we know exactly what was in there.
Yes,
you know
we
why?
Probably do.
Because later on at the convention, somebody broke into his car and stole it. Which
Jerks.
was a bummer.
Do we know that it was at the convention that it got broken into?
That's what some sites said.
Oh, that it was at...
I'm not positive. I think so.
It's ironic that the thing that he wouldn't take off...
I know.
That was on his back.
You shouldn't have taken it off, man.
Or maybe not leave it in your car, just saying.
So do you still have it? What's in there?
I may have borrowed it.
So he posted a message on some social media. He says, "Hey, asshole that broke into my car. I hope you enjoy what you find in my backpack. The computer, I'm sure you can sell to some other idiot. Great. My camera is one of my favorite cameras. It's my Ricoh." That's so sad. "Enjoy the pictures that I took on there of all the beautiful people that I love. But I hope you also enjoy the pictures I took of my stupid, messy room. You also took my book, you dick. I was halfway through that thing. Now I have to start over from the beginning. That's just the rules. But for real, what pisses me off most is that you took my notebook full of my dumb ideas that I will never use. I love those dumb ideas. It was a constant reminder for me to do better. Now I got to write down all those dumb ideas all over again. Those are the rules. One particular section had some stand-up jokes in there. Well, there goes my 5-minute set that I've been working on about wizards, vertigo, and chocobos."